What is up, guys? Today in this video, I'm going to talk about the mindset that I used of when I first started in the gym. 5 years later, I'm still going strong, still going super consistent. And I think if everyone knows this mindset and can internalize this way of thinking, then you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. And basically, the main premise of this mindset in this video is that pain and things that are uncomfortable and maybe not, enjoyable to do in the moment are always temporary, and they always lead you to a better future and a better outcome in the end. That's basically what I tell myself, like whenever I don't want to do something that's either hard or not enjoyable, but I know it's going to get me to a better result. For example, in the gym, doing a workout, it's not the most enjoyable thing for a lot of people. Like, people don't like going to the gym, and like for me, I never really minded it. I liked going to the gym because I knew it would make me make progress. But for a lot of people, they just find it a little bit annoying and just like a chore that you have to do. But I think if most people have that mindset where it's like, yeah, this thing sucks, it might not be comfortable, but if I keep doing this consistently over time, then I'm going to become a better version of myself from these actions and this effort that I'm putting in. Then it's always going to be worth it, because the pain is always temporary. Like, the workout will end, but the results that you get from it is for lifetime if you're consistent and if you don't fall off, of course. And I think most people should know this, and it doesn't even have to be with the gym, like with running as well. As you can see the treadmill that I run on. So right now it's mid-January, super snowy outside, super cold here in Michigan, and I still get after it. I still put the work in on this treadmill, and it's not enjoyable to run on the treadmill every single day. Obviously, I'd like to run outside, like I just enjoy it way better. But I know that me running on the treadmill is going to better myself. It's going to, it's one of the inputs that I have for myself in my plan, in my training system, Precision Inputs Training. If you don't know what I follow and what I teach, then yeah, like it's something that I tell myself I'm going to do, and it's on my checklist. And I know that running, 30, 45 minutes every single day is not the most enjoyable thing in the world. Like, I sometimes don't want to do it, but I still get it done because I know that it's a temporary uncomfortability, if that's even a word. But the results that I get from it is going to be long lasting, and it's always going to be worth it in the end, because every time you do something hard, you become a better version of yourself. You're just training yourself to do hard things, which in life, you're always going to need that. Whether you want to start a business, grow a business, do better in your job, whatever you have in your professional life, doing harder things is always going to benefit you. Delaying gratification, I think that's one of the biggest things that most people should know that concept. If you don't know what that is, like instant versus delayed gratification, like you're delaying, the gratification of doing hard things now so you get the gratification and the reward later, instead of doing easy things that are satisfying and gratifying now, such as, watching, like scrolling on your phone. Like, it's not a good thing. Like, you could be exposed to something that you haven't heard of before, which is very rare, but in the long run, it really doesn't benefit you at all. Something else that could be like eating bad food, like it tastes good in the moment, but in the long run, in the future, it's not going to benefit you at all, versus eating good food, which I still think tastes really good, but it's going to always benefit you more, but it's not going to be like as rewarding in the moment, if that makes sense. So always reframe of the things that you have to do, that you should do, that are going to get you to a better place in life, as something that's beneficial, and something that's just temporarily uncomfortable, temporarily painful, for eternally satisfying and eternally rewarding for yourself. Because in life, I think everyone wants to create their own reality. Everyone wants to become a better version of themselves, fulfill their potential, which is something that I think about all the time. Is like becoming the version of myself that is better than me now, and just like better than the things that I do. Like it's just a higher version of myself. But to get to that level, to get to become that person, you have to go through hard things, and those hard things, the uncomfortable discomfort, discomfort is always going to build you, and it's always temporary. Like even if you're in a bad mood about it, it doesn't matter because it's pretty binary. Like you either get the thing done or you don't get it done and you don't get the result. So just think about that when you're training, when you're really doing anything that you don't want to do. Is just the pain is temporary. It truly is. That's really the main premise of the mindset that I have used over the years to stay consistent in the gym, even though I love the gym. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, where it's like some people don't go to the gym consistently because they just don't have that identity of someone that's consistent in the gym and that just loves the gym. But if you find it easy to go, if you find it hard not to go, which is kind of what I do at this point, and I've done for years, it's because you have a different way of thinking about it. And sometimes it's always not going to be that easy and that enjoyable to go. Like sometimes you just don't want to go to the gym and force yourself to put physical effort into a hard workout. But every time you show up, it's always worth it, and it's always temporary. And even on like the worst of worst days, you really don't feel like going. Like you're just tired. You just want to get in bed, take a nap. Like you're super, super unmotivated to go, but you still go anyways. And even in the workout, you just want to leave. You just don't want to be there. Going through those motions and just telling yourself that you can do stuff that you don't feel like doing is going to compound and bleed into every other area of your life. Because the life is not just the gym and fitness. I think it's a really big part of it. One of the biggest pillars of life is your health and your fitness, obviously, because without that, you can't really have anything if you don't have health. And then fitness is another thing. Like you don't command respect, you don't have confidence if you don't have those things in place. If you don't have a good physique, if you're not lean, if you're not strong, if you don't have good health in general, then you're just not going to operate at your highest potential. But to get to that point, you have to consistently put in the work, which you're not always going to want to do. And that not wanting to do it is just temporary. Some days you're going to feel motivated, and those days are amazing. You're going to get the best workouts out of those days. But sometimes you don't want to go, and you show up and you start enjoying it. As soon as you start, getting your heart rate up, doing your first exercise, everything becomes just way better and way easier because you're just in that mode of getting things done. And it's going to become, it's going to be better for you in the long run. So I think a lot of people just focus on short-term feelings, short-term fulfillment, rather than long-term vision, long-term legacy, long-term results from the short-term, consistent, day-by-day inputs that you need to do. And my training method, called the Precision Inputs Training System training method, which I teach all of my clients. If you work with me, then you know exactly what that is. If you don't know what it is, then you can schedule a call with me and we can break down what that looks like and what that would look like for you, because I do take on clients for one-on-one coaching. But anyways, it's basically a full system that works with your human biology, because I think if you don't understand how muscle growth and fat loss works at a biological level, then you're not going to actually get results. So if you can understand that, then you can just reverse engineer your results from what actually works in your body. So part of that plan is doing low intensity cardio. So I run on the treadmill. I do zone 2 cardio for my workouts for my cardio, and it's one of the biggest game changers I've made in my fitness in the past year. So if you don't know my backstory, I was in the gym for like sorry about that. I was in the gym for about 4 years, and I looked pretty shit, like, to say the least. I was not impressive at all, but I would go super consistently. Like, I loved the gym, but I just wouldn't make progress the way that I'm supposed to make progress for putting in all the effort that I was. And it wasn't until I started learning about the fundamentals and the biological processes of muscle growth, of fat loss, of making progress in the gym, in fitness, that I really took it to the next level. And I made I'd say it's a pretty good transformation in the past year in 2025. I really changed everything for my physique, for my fitness, for my progress, my understanding of everything. And now I teach others with the same system that I used to do the same thing. So I think I'm pretty proud of what I've done, of what I've been able to put together for everyone, and the system that I use. I wouldn't do it any other way, and I've looked into a lot of different things. So I truly think it's the best system that you can do. Right now I'm recording this where I run. You can see the skateboards on the wall. This is in the basement where I live. And then we have the treadmill there. And then actually the home gym, I can show you guys. So these are concrete dumbbells that I made with my dad when I was 16. So when I was 16, the COVID lockdown hit, and we couldn't go to the gyms because they were all closed because of the pandemic. And I still wanted to lift weights. I was just getting into the gym, and I just had a burning desire and a burning vision of who I wanted to become, of the potential that I wanted to fulfill, that I didn't want to take no for an answer. So me and my dad made these dumbbells, and I started lifting right here in this basement. And I started going to the gym. I got my first gym membership in 2021. But this is kind of off the scope of this video. But to bring it back to what I was saying about mindset and the way you think about hard things, just know that even if you don't feel like doing something, once you get it done, you're going to be glad that you did every single time. There's without fail. And just know it's temporary. The hard thing will pass, and the hard thing will get you the result that you want. But the only thing stopping you is your own mind, your own way of thinking, your own comfort zone. You just wanting to stay in the comfort zone is keeping you stuck where you are today. And sometimes it's not even about more effort. Like with my clients, it's a pretty common thing. Like a lot of them before, they used to go to the gym super consistently, 5-6 days a week, but they're just not getting the progress that they want, because in the gym, it might not be more effort equals more growth and more progress. It's just like the precise inputs, which is why I call my method the precision inputs method. So I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions for me, always shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll leave that in the description. And if you want to work with me directly in my coaching program, I'll also leave a link to book a call with me in the description. So go check those out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.